What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the top 5 tips, tricks, and cheats you need to know on defense in Madden 20 to make your defense literally 100 times better. I'm going to show you some tidbits you might not know about, and I'm going to show you how to stop the most annoying things people do on offense in the game this year, like some of the run plays that are hard to stop. I'm going to show you how to shut all of those down. These are all really easy to learn, and once you learn these things, you're going to win a ton more games because so many people aren't going to know what to do. So the first tip we're going to get into is a little bit more beginner friendly, and then the next 4 tips are going to be more so how to stop some of the most annoying things in the game. So one of the things I see a lot of complaint about are how do you stop out routes, right? So I like to use like some type of a nickel, like a cover 2, if I think that my opponent's just going to try to spam an out route. A lot of times people like to do this on a 3rd and long or like a 4th and long, like 4th and 10, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. They just want to throw a quick out route to the sideline because that's just kind of all they know, especially if you shut down their run game. So a Tampa 2 does a really good job at stopping this. Most people are going to try to throw the out route on the wide side of the field. They actually sometimes work better on the short side, but most people just want to throw it to the wide side because it makes more sense. So if you're just expecting someone to blindly come out and throw one of these out routes on a big play, big down, you want to call it Tampa 2 and then just shade your coverage to the outside. You do this by pressing wire triangle and then right on the right stick, and it's going to shut this down literally every time on the wide side of the field. You're going to see you try to throw this out route, the cornerback is right under there for easy interception. Sometimes, yes, it's Madden, sometimes the cornerback could dumb out and the receiver could catch it, but most of the time he's going to be in good position to stop the out route. So we'll show it again. Tampa 2, shade your coverage outside, wire triangle right on the right stick, and it's going to absolutely take away this out route on the wide side of the field. He's going to be there to make the play, especially if you have a good cornerback. We're just using, below average guys in terms of Madden ratings right here, and they're doing a good job. Now on the left side of the field, what you might want to do on the short side is you take the, if you got a slot guy or a linebacker, whoever it is, and you move him over, you might want to drop him into a curl flat just to try to help bracket on the short side, because sometimes the cloud flat dumbs out more on the short side of the field. So I like to, if I really think they might try to force it over here, I'll just put this guy in a curl flat to kind of bracket it. So you do that by pressing A or X and then right on the left stick. So now if they were to try to throw a deep out route here on the left, you'll see these two guys are going to kind of bracket. He's going to drop underneath, and it's going to be really hard to fit this in there just in case the cloud flat dumbs out. So that's tip number 1. We're going to get into the next 4 tips, but really quickly, let's hear a word from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped, the only men's brand dedicated to below-the-waist grooming. If you don't have the perfect tools for your family jewels, it can get pretty messy when you're cleaning up before date night. That's why I'm excited to tell you guys about the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof body trimmer. The new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 comes with a rapid charging dock, advanced skin-safe technology, a diamond textured no-slip grip, an LED light to help with safe and precise trimming, a 7,000 RPM motor, and more. Now, if you don't want to end up looking goofy like this guy right here, I suggest you head on over to manscaped.com and use my code ERIC20 for 20% off plus free shipping. Your balls will thank you. Okay, for tip number 2, I'm going to show you the best run defense in Madden 20. A lot of people are still having trouble stopping the stretch and the dive. It is a run-heavy year. I've talked about this defense on the channel before, but I'm going to show a new tidbit with it that a lot of people are doing now. It is out of the 3-4 odd, and the play is Edge Blitz 1. I still believe this is the best run defense in the game. You can find this in the Jets playbook, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Ravens. Those are the best playbooks that have it. Alright, so I'm going to put the setup to this in the description. It sounds like a lot, but I promise you can set this up before they get to the line of scrimmage. The offense has to wait 5 seconds at least before they can snap the ball. You can set this up in under 5 seconds. So you want to pinch the D-line, you want to crash the D-line down, spread linebackers, blitz all linebackers, contain, so it'll look like this, and then you always want to use this safety right here. But the last little tidbit, if you have time, you want to click on to the other safety who's in the box, and you want to put him into a QB spy because he's going to help you more so in the run game. And what you want to do is right when the ball is snapped, you want to press the right joystick in. You want to click it in, which is the rush the spy feature, but this is useful also in the run game. It's going to help him rush the backfield a lot better. Sometimes he'll get in the backfield in game a lot and hit the running back for a loss, but if nothing else, he's going to help clog up the lanes for you and make it easy for you to use her over there and defend it. So as soon as the ball snaps, I press the right joystick down, I get into the box as well, and right there, they got 5 yards, which is actually, really your best case scenario unless they just glitch out and break it for a huge play. But more times than not, you're going to be able to get in there and stop them like this for a loss of 2 yards, for a loss of 1, or a gain of no yards. It is still Madden 20. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's a foolproof run defense that works every single play. You could shut down the run 10 plays in a row, and you could still give up a touchdown on the 11th play because the pursuit angles are terrible this year. You might mess up with your user and just overshoot the gap or not stay home, and you might let up a big play. It's just going to happen sometimes this year. That's just kind of the nature of the game. But this is going to be your best bet run defense wise. As you can see, we gave up 5 yards on the first play. The next 3 plays, we've averaged a loss of at least 1 yard. So we'll go to the dive really quickly and show you the dive. And again, very easy to set up. It's all muscle memory. It takes literally 3 seconds to set up once you practice it and get the muscle memory down, and I'll have the setup for you in the description. You see there, he was hit behind the line of scrimmage. He fell for about no gain. So I'll switch really quickly to one more play just to show you like a different type of run. So we'll go to I-form tight, because I-form tight is probably the most popular right now, at least among the better players. The stretch dive combo out of this one is the hardest to consistently stop. And you can see, like, that's how quick I can set my defense up, like right out of the play call screen. It's already set up. But this is probably the toughest one because sometimes people motion and try to glitch out your defense. But as long as you stay with your your user in place, you have your spy, and you press your right joystick in when the ball is snapped, you should do a good job at getting in there. You see right there, absolutely no gain on the dive. Again, every once in a while, yes, somebody's going to break one. Someone's going to get good gains because that is just the nature of Madden 20. You're not going to stop the run 100% of the time, but this is going to be your best bet. You're going to be the most consistent stopping the run and holding it to no gain. You can see in all the examples I've shown you, it's rarely gotten back to the line of scrimmage. So that is going to be your best run defense. Setup is in the description. Okay, so for tip number 3, it kind of goes a little bit hand in hand with tip number 1, and that's how to stop the RPO elements of some of these run plays. So I'm actually going to come out in the same play, which is edge blitz, just to kind of keep it consistent. So you just really, with stopping the RPO portions of plays, you have to just be knowledgeable of what plays have RPOs. So the I-form wing stretch is going to have a RPO, a slant on the back end. Same for the strong H-wing. Those are the most common. You have your plays like your wing tight, that's going to have the stretch with the slant on the back end. If you've played this game enough, you should kind of know which formations have the RPOs. The most popular ones are going to be the I-form H-wing and the strong H-wing. So basically, you want to set up your run defense just the same, right? But what you want to be mindful of is the outside linebacker that's on the back end. If you're worried about an RPO, you take the linebacker on the back end, on the wide receiver side, and you drop him into a hook curl. You do this by pressing A or X, and then down on the left stick. Now he is in a vertical hook, and he's going to drop right underneath that slant. So I'm going to show you here, if I try to throw this slant, what's going to happen? He's going to drop right into the passing lane. He gets a pick, and a lot of times, as you can see, when this happens, you're going to go the other way for a touchdown. But your worst case scenario is he will at least be able to knock the ball down, get in the passing lane, and things like that. So we'll switch really quickly to the strong H-wing, which is going to give you basically the same look, except it's out of the strong instead of the I formation. And we're going to do the same thing. Just make sure the guy on the back end, you click on him, drop him into that hook curl, and then you're good. Your run defense is set up if they choose to run the ball. But if they try to throw that backside slant again, now I got sacked there because the defensive line just cheated inside, which was great. I mean, if you're on defense, you love that. He just cheated. But you can see that if we were to throw this again, he was dropping right underneath. There was no way for him to do anything about that. Now, the last one you have to worry about are the ones with, like, if they're trying to do the run play with the bubble screen. So like I-form H slot, you'll get this when you have like a twin receiver look. So again, you can be in the same run defense. If you're worried about a bubble screen, what you want to do is you just want to pass commit. I find that is probably the most consistent. So you press LB or L1 and then up on the right stick to pass commit. So again, if they want to run to the right, run the stretch or run the dive, we have our run defense set up in our user. We can get there and make the play. But if they want to throw this backside bubble, you have him manned up and he's pass committed. So this guy is going to break on the ball and make a play instead of biting hard on the run. So that's how you stop the RPO elements of these plays. You completely shut them down to where they'll get no gain or you'll even get a pick 6. So that's very important to know. You can stop the run and the pass with these same setups. For tip number 4, I'm going to show you how to stop the QB blasts in the game. The one out of the Carolina Heavy Panther and the one out of the Saints playbook, the Taysom Hill QB blast. Keep in mind, Just like we did in the previous tip with the run game, sometimes people are going to break one on you. That's just the nature of the game. But this setup is going to help you contain it the best. So for the heavy Panther Carolina version, you want to use 3-4 odd, cover 4, drop show 2. This to me works the best. What I like to do is baseline and then I press. And then what I do is I go to my outside cornerbacks and I drop them into cloud flats. You could do this by pressing get on there. You get on them and you press A or X and then down on the left stick. Put them in cloud flats. If you'd rather put them in like a soft squat, that's A or X and then right on the left stick. It really depends however you want to do it. Either will work. And then, you know, you honestly don't even have to really use her on the play. I would still use her. My suggestion is usually a lot of people try to break this to the right, so I would get on this linebacker and just try to scrape out to the right if they go right. But other than that, you know, then if they try to go up the middle, just kind of try to stay home and shoot the gap. But I'm not even going to use her on the defense here because I need to try to demonstrate how people run it on offense. So like if they try to break outside like so, you're not going to be able to break outside. That's what's the good part about those cloud flats or soft squats on the outside. They are going to be in run fits, so they're gonna really shoot into that backfield for you. So some people will try to like kind of delay and then break outside. You can't do that to either side because those guys are gonna be out there every single time. And then what just happened right there, basically you want them to take a lot of hits with their QB and then eventually fumble the ball. That's kind of what you're hoping to do, because a lot of like really good players that run QB blast, they might be able to get 2 or 3 yards of play, but even on conservative, they're gonna eventually fumble. If you try to go through the middle, those safeties that are in the quarter zones, they're in run fits, so they shoot through really good. And this is just the best way that I found to stop the heavy Panther blast. Okay, so for the Taysom Hill QB blast, I will say this one to me is harder to stop, especially just because of the fact that you can audible into so many other things. But a lot of people are kind of just brain dead. They want to just come out, run the blast. So if you see them come out in the Taysom Hill slot package, right? What you want to do is you want to go to 3-4 over ed. For me, this has been the best. If you have a 4-3 normal, it's kind of similar to this. It's like a 4-3 normal look. And you want to go to cover 4 quarters. Now, basically what you want to do against this is you want a base align, which is wire triangle right on the left stick. You want a QB contain, which is LB or L1, and then RB or R1. And the most important thing is you want to kind of walk these safeties down to about right here. Just kind of like where the linebackers are. So you kind of create like a 5 look across. And this is going to be your best bet for containing it that I have found. This one is harder to stop. It's really easy to get 2 to 3 consistent yards on this one. But again, if you make somebody do that down the field, they're going to start fumbling the ball if you don't give them the big gain. So like if I try to cut outside here, there's usually going to be either that linebacker or the safety out there. You see we did fumble the ball. There'll usually be a linebacker or a safety that can kind of shoot out there and stop it. And if they try to go through the middle, the lane's just going to be really clogged. So again, you kind of want to bring these guys. You want them kind of just a little bit to the outside like this because you want them to try to shoot down and help make a play on this. And you can use, or you know, one of these linebackers if you want. But again, so if I try to like go through the middle here, like you see, it's very clogged up. So this isn't the end-all be-all, but for me, from what I've faced, this is the most consistent way to limit it to minimal yards and force fumbles. For the 5th and final tip, I'm going to show you how to shut down the Wildcat runs that a lot of people run online, or at least how to contain them. Much like the QB blast, sometimes people are going to break one on you. Sometimes your defense is going to dumb out too much. That's just the nature of Madden 20, but this defense will help you shut it down the most. So I like the 3-4 odd pinch dog 2 press. This is what I've seen most people that I watch have success with. Again, you can find this in all the popular 3-4 playbooks like the Jets, the Giants, the Dolphins, the Ravens. So the setups will be below how to do everything, but what you want to do is you want to base align, you want to press, you want to QB contain, and then most importantly, you want to take your safeties and you want to put them into QB spies because that's going to help you the most. And then you're going to use one of the inside linebackers. That's what I've found to be the most useful. You want to use a linebacker that's on the same side as like this tight end here, which side they're possibly going to break it to, because if they go outside, you want to kind of scrape out here, and you need to help user because that's really the one area that they can hit. If they stay home, you want to stay home and just stay in the middle. So I'm going to actually put him into a curl flat here just to try to simulate maybe I can't use both controllers, but if I put him in a curl flat, he'll kind of scrape over there. The computer will, but it's going to be better when you do it as a user, because this is what a lot of people are going to try to do. They're going to go up the middle and try to cut outside like that, and you see if you're over there with your user, you have a chance to make a play, and it kind of muddies things up. But this one, it is very, very difficult to consistently stop. You know, maybe you want to slide the safeties out a little bit more, but you have to really be over there with your user to prevent that cut back lane, because that's what most people are going to try to do, is just cut it all the way outside. And you see, just like that, we hit it for a loss. The computer played it perfectly, but naturally that's going to be you, and you have the ability to play that perfectly every time if you just, you know, don't mess up, right? Easier said than done. It's going to take some practice. And then again, if you try to like take this up the middle, it's pretty clogged. It's going to usually be hard to go up the middle. You see how Earl Thomas came in there because of that spy. He came in there and hit it really good in the backfield because the QB spy helps him rush the backfield much quicker. So that's how you shut down the Wildcat the most consistently. That's what I found to work best. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, check out some of these other videos right here, and I will see you guys next time.